Have we turned the volume up?
Is the volume? I've never been in this room, to tell you the truth.
While they're testing, now you can hear me. Do all of you have a copy of the rules of the State Plan and Community Affairs? This is the rules we worked under last year. Does anybody have any objection to? You got a copy, Michelle? Make sure everybody has the copy. Does anybody have any objection to continuing under these current rules since this is our first meeting? If I hear no objection to the operating under the current rules, we'll continue to do so. In the future, if any of y'all have any suggestions about amendments you'd like to see to the rules, let me know and we'll take them up at a future meeting. I believe it calls for 6, and I believe we've got more than that present. So we'll hear from Mr. Roger Williams at this time. Roger? Yes, sir. You can stand out there, you can go up there, whichever you want to do. Okay. What is that, number 90? I'm going to need some help in getting here.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bringing House Resolution 560, which is a...
Speak up so they can all hear you good. Go ahead.
Bill to create a charter commission to consolidate the government.
This has, as I understand it, it just has local impact in your counties, right? Okay. Any questions? Any questions of Representative Williams? Do I hear a motion on his legislation then? Is there a second? All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, like sign. Congratulations, Representative Williams. Chairman Williams, I'm sorry. Okay, now the next bill on the agenda is author is Representative Alan Powell and Mark Hamilton. And if you approach Dan and tell us about your local bill, that's House Resolution 496. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't get that. You moved the adoption of it? Representative Powell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my friends on the committee. Bring to you House Resolution 496. Put this bill in conjunction with my senator from over in Madison County, of creating a joint House Senate study committee on state and local mandates, basically dealing so they could review the mandates on local governments to decide what's wasteful and what's not wasteful and what's unneeded. Also put together a task advisory force with ACCG and GMA so they can make their recommendations to this joint committee. I would have to beg for some ruling from the chair at this point, since this was a House resolution creating a joint study committee. At this point, I don't think these can go forward over to the Senate at this point, can it, or can it?
Well, you're talking about a House resolution.
It's a House resolution where we also included House and Senate into it.
That's correct. I don't know the nature of this. We have legislative counsel with us, don't we, somewhere?
I'm right here.
Where are you? Yeah. What do you think?
Well, all due respect, this is my first time to see it, but it talks about that it's resolved by the General Assembly, so it is written as a joint. So it would need to pass through the House and then on to the Senate.
Okay.
Then that being said, what I would ask the indulgence of the committee, because the importance of looking at these unfunded mandates and other mandates, that we would strike the language on line 10, 11, and 12 and only make this a House study committee
Okay, is there any objections to striking that language to make it a House bill so that it could be passed this year and would not have to go to the Senate? If there's no objection, we'll, yes.
And I'll do
How about coming up here to the mic?
a couple of things we need to change, also on line 1, indicating that it's a House study committee.
Also
Can you
on
get
the
to the
back,
mic there?
also on the back page, there's some language in there from funds appropriated from the Senate. With the help of the chairman, I would recommend let the council just strike any appropriate language from the Senate involving them, and then just carry it forward. And then over on the Senate side, Senator Ginn, if he can find out in his leadership who's going to be on first and who's on second, then they may wish to do the same bill, striking House language over in the.
Okay, the question before you is to strike any language that refers to the Senate and make it strictly a House resolution. Is there any objection to that?
Mr. Speaker, just one comment. In addition to that, to add to that, the word joint in line 1 and 9, I think should go along with those strikes.
Right.
Just the word joint.
Yeah. You got that? Like, you want to explain to us what you've done? And speak into that mic so they can hear you.
Well, my understanding is that we've been given a leeway to go through the resolution carefully and just edit out anything that refers to joint committee or to the Senate.
Okay. Out of abundance of caution, do you want to make a motion to that effect?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Is there a second to that? Second. Got a second. Any discussion on making those changes? Okay, the motion is to give, to change anything that would refer to a Senate resolution, take that out so that it becomes purely a House resolution. Okay? And it would pass out as a substitute. Yes, ma'am.
Appointed, it would eliminate all of the appointments from the Senate as well?
Yes, it would, basically.
Yes, line 11, 10.
Yes, that's correct. It would eliminate any appointments. And what we're doing is giving the Legislative Council the leeway to edit out anything that refers to the Senate or appointment to the Senate. That's correct. Thank you for bringing that out. Any other discussion? Okay, do we have a motion on the substitute as amended to House Resolution 496? Yes, sir. So moved.
Second.
And second. All those in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed, raise your hand. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and ladies and gentlemen.
Representative Powell, thank you for being here. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Hey, did we adopt committee rules?
Yeah, we adopted them.
Organizational meeting. I tell you what, an organizational meeting.